awesome, absolutely awesome.
I love it when a plan comes together. Definitely worth a look. Yeah, it was well on par.
Right, hello everybody, and good afternoon. Today is Saturday, the 17th of November 2012, and I'm here to do a review of it just got released yesterday. Obviously, the last segment of the saga, the Twilight Saga, aka Breaking Dawn Part 2. Now, before I actually get into the movie, I just want to say that while many people don't appreciate Twilight or completely hate it, that's fine. Good for you. I'm happy for you. If you sleep better at night, brilliant. Okay, that's good. However, for those of you who do love it, well, good for you for keeping up with it. That's all I'm going to say. I actually watched the previous 4 movies, Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse and Breaking Dawn Part 1 last weekend, and actually, even though I've seen them before, I actually did start to really appreciate what they were about. Yes, there's the romantic side, Bella and Edward, Bella choosing between Edward and Jacob, but then for me it was all about the vampire and werewolf, confliction. That was what it was for me, and everything in between. Obviously the action scenes for me, and I'll always say that Eclipse would be my favourite out of all the series, out of all the films, because for that one you had the action, the vampires against the werewolves, with the Cullens against Victoria's army, and then they had the werewolves on their side as well. And then we learned a bit more about Jasper, and I actually quite like Jasper as a character. I think he's awesome. He's such an amazing guy. Alice as well, she's just amazing. I love Alice. Ashley Greene, gorgeous, knows how to play the character really well. But overall, Breaking Dawn Part 2 obviously continues on from where Part 1 left off. If you've read the books, you know that Bella does eventually become a vampire. You see it in trailers, so you know she's a vampire. And it's what happens from then on. When she finds out that Jake imprinted on Renesmee, I still will not get over that name. I'm sorry, I can't get used to it. But when she finds out that he imprinted on her, well, yeah, let's just say that it was a good moment for Edward coming up. He was looking forward to that, is all I can say. Then obviously the Volturi find out that Renesmee has been born. They see her as a threat. She's known as an immortal child, and let's just say things might not go well for Renesmee if the Volturi had their way. But my understanding was that when I heard they were doing the second part, it was told that the ending, well, toward the back end of the book, what happens in the book doesn't happen in the film, or what happens in the film is changed from what happens in the book, basically. So the ending that we saw clearly didn't happen in the book, but I was actually I was taken aback. I mean, I've never read the book, so I don't know how it actually ended or how it was written in the books, but from watching the film, I was taken aback by how it all unfolded, how the action unfolded. We got Bella learning more about her powers. We find out why it was Edward could not read her mind, and also why Aro, played by Michael Sheen, could not read her mind as well. Or whenever he touches someone, he can see what they're seeing. He can see their thoughts and stuff. So when that happened, I was like, what happened at the end? Everyone in the cinema couldn't believe what happened, and then we were like, okay, so right, yes, right, brilliant. I'm not going to say any more because I will eventually probably give it away. So, but as I say, for me though, this film as a standalone film, obviously, if you watch it on its own, it's not going to make much sense. But at the same time, even though this was the second part to the first one, it didn't have the same sort of level of emotion and depth to it. And I say this because my friend Tanya, who I went with, she completely cried her eyes out when we watched Part 1 last year. This one, not so much, but she did feel quite emotional, but she was more emotional for the fact that it was the last one and that was it. She was very depressed. When she came to pick me up on Thursday night, she was giddy as a child, but then she was like, I've actually been depressed all day. I was like, why? Because it's the last one. I went, yes, but then you can buy them on DVD and watch them over and over again as many times as you want. think about it. But she was like, yeah, but now I've got nothing to look forward to. I was like, well, you've still got the DVDs to look forward to. You can watch them over and over. She's like, it's not going to be the same. I was like, oh, pull yourself together, woman. So I pretty much sort of like, you know, try to make her feel a bit better about it. But I can understand the position, because I'm sure even Harry Potter fans and fans of other franchises that they've watched for a long time, that it's come to an end, that they've enjoyed, that it's been part of their lives. I mean, I was like that when Smallville ended. I was a gibbering wreck. Even when it came to the final episode, I was like, oh my god, this is it. It's actually going to finish. But afterwards, pull myself together and I'm fine. I'm okay. So it's all about accepting that it has ended, but it hasn't ended in a sense. It's opened a doorway. I mean, there's even an article on Empire's website that they've actually said that as far as, you know, Twilight has in some ways changed cinema, and it's more of not changed cinema in terms of vampire werewolf battles, but more on the female lead. Okay, Kristen Stewart, love her or hate her, and I absolutely adore Kristen Stewart anyway. Love her or hate her, she has, in some ways, you know, she's been a lead character in this series all throughout. And a lot of people will say that when they see Kristen Stewart, they instantly think of Bella. If she was in another film, as she was in Snow White and the Huntsman earlier this year, you know, people still see her as Bella, and that's great. You know, people will associate her with Twilight for as long as she lives, and it's like Christopher Reeve being associated with Superman, and you know, associating who else have we got? Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, all that sort of stuff. You know, so people have their mindset as to who their favourite actor is and what characters they play, and as far as they're concerned, that's the character that they associate them with. That's great. But as I say, you look at Breaking Dawn Part 2 and you look at all the characters and how they've sort of evolved over the 5 movies anyway, but the 4 books kind of thing. You know, Christian being this, Kristen Stewart that is, but Bella being this teenager who, as far as she's concerned, her life just has no meaning. She meets this charming, handsome young man, who actually turns out to be a vampire, and then her best friend Jacob is also now a werewolf, and it's all about those, you know, teenage angst decisions, adolescence, entering adolescence. What does one do with one's life at that age, and where is their life going? What do they do? And it's all about the choices that you make, and the choice that Bella chose was she wanted to be a vampire. The instant that she met Edward and knew that he found out he was a vampire, as far as she was concerned, that was what she wanted to be. Everybody was going against it, well, apart from Emmett, and I think even Jasper as well, and Alice. You know, some of them weren't too kind on Bella to say that, you know, you really don't want to be a vampire kind of thing, but she wanted to accept it. She wasn't afraid, and I think that's what, you know, looking at the article that I read in Empire, how they're saying, you know, as a female lead, she's gutsy, she's willing to take that risk, she's willing to put her life on the line, even though she knows that other people around her are saying it's not good for her, but she wants to do it anyway. As far as she is concerned, this is who she wants to be. And I think that's what Stephanie was trying to relay in the stories, is that no matter where you go in life, no matter what people will tell you, well, this is what you should do, it's all, you know, if you make that decision, it's your choice, it's your decision, you take that risk. How you then deal with it afterwards, that's the next phase. But overall, as I say, with the movie itself, I have actually enjoyed them. I have enjoyed watching them, and you know, I know last year when I did my review for Breaking Dawn Part 1, I probably wasn't too easy on it as I am with Part 2, but I guess it's because even at the time I even said that as far as I was concerned, the Twilight Saga is Stephanie Meyer's fantasy. It's what she's written, it's her world, same way that Harry Potter is J.K. Rowling's world, same way that, you know, comic book writers, this is how they depict the character that they're writing for. It's the same way that Christopher Nolan done his Batman. It's his Batman, it's his version. However people might say that they don't like it, that's fine, but this is what he has created, this is what he has made. He has gone on from what other people have done, put it all together, bang. Stephanie Meyer has done the same thing. She's taken elements from vampires and werewolf folklore, as you'd like to put it, and has put them together, and this is what she's created for herself. You know, and it's paid off. She's made something out of it. She's made money from it, and there's fans out there who have appreciated what Stephanie has done. The haters can hate as much as they want, but at the end of the day, these fans are out there. There's a market there for that sort of thing, and it's paid off for Stephanie. So, as I say, love them or hate them, Twilight Saga it's done, it's around, and the fans are still going to be happy about it, that it has been there, even though as big as Harry Potter, and Harry Potter, which we all know is the biggest franchise ever. Okay, I don't think any other franchise is going to come near Harry Potter as far as anyone's concerned. But Twilight still made an impact. It still hit a target audience, not just for young women, but for older women, for mature women even, and even for men. You know, there are men out there who appreciate it, like myself. You know, I'm not going to shy away and say that I don't like Twilight because of this, and this. No, I do like Twilight. Yes, there are elements to it that I don't appreciate, but overall, I like it. The only one thing that I would say that I didn't quite like about Breaking Dawn Part 2 was that Renesmee's face, which was a young baby, to when she was about, well, she grew that fast, it's difficult to tell how old she was, but her face, till they actually had a proper female actress, they superimposed it with CGI. That was my only niggle. I was like, oh god, she doesn't really look, you know, like a real person till eventually, when they, obviously, whatever child actress that they use, I didn't even get the name of the child actress, but she then had a real face. But for the majority of the movie, up until that point, it was all CGI, so, but never mind. But as I say, overall, I did enjoy it, I loved it. I think my friend Tanya's going to see it again and again and again, for as long as she can see it while it's out in cinemas. So let me know what you thought of it, if you enjoyed it as well, if you've seen it. As I say, I've tried not to give out too much spoilers, hopefully, but I will say that the twist that occurs in the movie was just fantastic for me. It was brilliant. That's all I'm going to say. If I was to add another movie in there, I don't really want to say what movie it reminded me of, the twist that is, but if I mention that, it will definitely give away what exactly happened in the film. So, not going to say it, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy your day. See you later.